And now I set up. Woo. Minor setups. Okay, I mute that. Hey, now I can view my own chat. Okay. Actually, I have a phone holder now. Turns out I cannot spell hello. Let's try that. Hey, I actually spelled hello this time instead of hello. Ended with an I. Anyway. Pardon me. To do just a few more minor things, and then I will start. Okay, so good day everyone. Today I will be adding the Briksmax LED lighting kit to the Lego Ghostbusters 21108 set. So we'll see how this goes. So first and foremost, I have tape in case it's needed. I think it is actually. And I have 2 brick separators. So we have the ever important instruction booklet. User's guide. Goes over on or between studs. I don't think this has any of the LED strips. Gives some being careful where you have the wires. You don't want them on top of a stud. You want in between when you put bricks down on top. They won't sit as flush either, but that's gotta be noted. So, telling you to be careful when plugging in the wires to the different components. How to use the battery pack. I believe the description of this used button cell batteries that you'd find in a car remote. Service card. In many languages. Hey, I will be sharing my experiences live, so that works. So I'll set those aside. This is the A03 30 centimeter warm white dot LEDs, A15 30 centimeter slow flashing white dot lights, LEDs, 12-port expansion boards. There appears to be 2 of them. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. USB cable. Curiosity. How long are you? Not very long at all. Okay, that can be interesting later on. I'm not worried about getting that one mixed up. So this is the connecting cable. I guess this is to jump the two boards together. Ah, the battery holder. So he doesn't have screws there holding it, so it should be a simple pry open. Yes. And yep, that takes two CR2032 button cell batteries, so the same ones you'd find in most car remotes. So I don't have that for right now, so I will be utilizing the USB cable. So I will carefully put this back in the bag. That will be good for future once I have the batteries, because it looks like it's just a plug that in instead of the USB. And we have some bricks and these are actually Lego bricks. These are not knockoffs. I'm pleasantly surprised. They all have the Lego logo on them and all, so yeah. Hey, I'll set those there. Those definitely be used later somewhere. So, okay, let us get started. So first things first, undo that. Then we take a roof off, which should be easy. Only has the 4 studs it's connecting to. So that gets set aside. Okay, so it wants, how much of that does it want pulled up? So the directions are, it's literally just follow the pictures. So I might have a better chance. Nope. There we go. Do that to both sides. There we go. Yeah, that's the interesting thing about doing these LED kits. It's going, hey, you now have to disassemble what you've previously made. Downside is trying to decipher some of this. Now I need this piece to come up. There we go. Okay, and then I need to take the windshield out. That's simple. Step 9, we remove the, come on, oh, starting to pull the pegs and all too. There we go. You as well. Almost had that. No. I just want that piece. There we go. Set that aside. Okay. Taking those off. And I see I may have missed a step. With the windshield, what they're not showing clearly is they need the brown studs off as well. This one may be a more challenge. Set these aside, because I know they'll be needing to be taken off anyway. Oh, the brick separator works so nicely. We don't lose where these go. Hey, Basic Bro. Glad you could join. Yeah, I do a couple live streams every now and then. Okay, I need to remove all of these wedge pieces. So thank you for joining. Right now you're easily at 100% of winning a game if no one else, well, even if one other person comments on the one video, you're still guaranteed to win. So, hey! For some reason it's not getting any traction, so yeah, I'm pretty sure you will be winning. If not, just join the Discord anyway. That would be appreciated. It's pretty much a dead Discord, Val. I just highlight some of the things I'm planning to do in the near future. So, okay. Yeah, that's not going to be as easy, but since I have to take the whole front off anyway, I can do it the simple way. Yep, simple way. Hey, I'm glad you're watching for fun. I'm glad you're enjoying any of my content. That's the whole point of it. It's just for enjoyment. Allows me to go ahead and mess around with some of the stuff I have. So, okay, I need bag A03, and I need 4 of the LED. Says 4, and it's showing multiple, so let us see. Thank you. It is appreciated. Fun of trying to... Okay, there we go. Although these wires can take a slight beating, I'd rather not just beat on them. Come on. And then they tangled. And they tangled at the worst possible spot. That's the most fragile areas where the LED itself is. 2. You fell away from the others. There. I set you aside. Okay, so I need to take these. Oh, this is actually the second time I've done a LED kit. The first one was admittedly a little better designed. Better instructions, so I have some knowledge of how to properly set these up. Carefully. Come on. There we go. So we have the first one in place. And yes, the wire does get pinched a little. These are designed to be pinched a little. Well, that is not the goofiest request, but I will be completely honest, as I've knocked a piece off, my handwriting is absolutely atrocious. It has always been atrocious. I mean, here's some handwriting of commies. There we go. Gets if a bag isn't reflecting light. And that's her doing quick handwriting. That's legible. Mine isn't. So yeah, for the most part, my handwriting will not be seen on here because that is, for whatever reason, has never been that great. And after some medications that I've had to take, I have the light shake every now and then, so that doesn't help either. Let us wedge, yeah. So I carefully put that dead center of a brick, and then I put the top brick over it. Yep, there we go. Take the next clear one. Yeah, mine is the example of what not to use to improve. So, interesting note, in elementary or primary school, depending on region of the world, I was actually in the special education program. Could not read to save my life initially. By the end of 5th grade, I was reading at a high school level, so hey, the program worked great. But yeah, it was noted that for whatever reason, handwriting and me never wanted to get along. Actually, I have finished college. I have a master's degree even. So yeah, I'm an old man. That's how I can afford my toys, as it were. But yeah, I will say the special education system in the US, I can say very high remarks to, because again, I have a master's degree from a fully accredited university. Well, it was a college, it's now a university. I am in my 30s. Oh, I definitely got this for retail price. Yeah, actually, this specific set was given to me as a present for a birthday back when it originally came out. I did have I do have a second one. It was on display in one room till the cats knocked it down. So now it's in a box that I need to reassemble. So, but yeah, I've seen the retail pricing of this. It's not fun. What's really scary is the firehouse that I've yet to put together. That one, whew, that can break the budget, as it were. Okay, so now that I have the main lights on the front, put these on. Yep. And if you look through, you'll see that I have some videos about trigeminal neuralgia. Not a fun condition. Thankfully, it's very rare. But to say that threw wrenches into actually building these sets is an understatement. So let's see here. I'm carefully routing wires. Yeah, they just go route wires and then put the pieces over top. Yeah, that's basic. I also love how these wires are black and white, yet they're shown red and white. So yeah, I did use a right, yeah, A03. So I use the right bag. Ouch! 900 euros sealed. I'm seeing it for 200 on Amazon in the States. So $200. So yeah, that is definitely a bit of a markup. This is the hard part of these LED kits, is making sure that when I put the bricks over top, I'm not causing extra pinch points. So that's why I'm being extra careful here. There we go. And these will never be 100% flush with the wires underneath. So let's first set. Oh, the firehouse, yeah, the firehouse I'm seeing about 1,000, so that does equate close to the euro. Let's see. Yeah, it's not too bad on the resale of this one. However, I'll be honest, at that point in pricing, I would say forget about this one. Go with the newer Ecto one they have out. It's a much more detailed set. My first video on this channel is actually of it lit up. I don't like where that wire went. Come on. Of course, I got a much more expensive light kit for that one. Oh, okay. Yeah, you have to forgive me. Being an American, I'm not always as familiar with the differences between other currencies. The closest one I'm actually familiar with is the UK pound in particular, because I have friends who are streamers and I occasionally do donos to them, so that's how I know the pound is where it lies more. Well, and the Canadian loonie. I know that one too, to some degree, because it's fairly close. Okay, so we have... So I now actually have to pull this closer to see if I'm missing anything. Now the simple part, since those wires are nicely in place, that front portion goes on nicely. I fix a minor issue there. Yeah, I enjoyed doing this little build and the larger Ecto one. It is... I actually have not been outside of the US. I've been to many states in the US. The US is quite large. So that's the fun of being able to live in the US. It can go to many states without any need of documentation other than a driver's license if you're driving, and just visit different sceneries. Depending on where you go, you'll have the mountains, you'll have oceans. Some states you can have mountains on one side, ocean on the one edge, because I'm on the eastern shore, hence why I always do Eastern Standard Time for when I'm talking about things. But I've been entirely up and down the East Coast. Been to several states within a small part of Texas, but that was more for a training for a job I had once. Talk about feeling it like I was being indoctrinated inside a gated compound. But that's me just making comments about questionable jobs I've had, even if they were completely legitimate. But okay, now we have the first fun challenge. It's getting this initial wiring laid out. So I know Michael is the UK. About where are you at? Basic bro? Are you US, UK, Canada? So I now have to pick this up because these are long wires. I'm going to make my life easy. I'm going to take the antenna off for right now. Put this one back here. Fair enough. Well, nonetheless, I thank you all for joining. Oh, I put that over one too many. There we go. Careful. And then the wire popped out. Try that one more time without the failure, hopefully. There we go. Ah, India. All I ask is, I hope you're not one of the call center people who are constantly calling for Medicare, although no one in this house needs Medicare. And that's as political as I'm getting with India. But no, I do thank you for joining. It is currently just past noon here in the US on the Eastern Shore. Now I repeat that. No, do not repeat. I now take this piece off. Come on. And I need one of the A15. Hi, Nettie. I try not to say anything that would be objectionable to any ages, so that's good news. However, occasionally you never know. There we go. Yeah. Call centers are interesting. There's several that are very good and reputable, which are there to, again, assist people. But then you sadly have the scammer ones. Yeah, that was slightly stuck there. So. careful. There we go. And now I have to yell at a cat. Avi, stop that. I have a cat at the door trying to get in. This does not want to. No, it doesn't show it connecting nicely in the picture either, so. Come on. Take this. I hope you have a good day at work, Natty. Oh, that's true anywhere, though. There's good people and bad people everywhere. Let me just test this. Yeah, that snaps on fine without the LED in place. And there's always people trying to get a quick buck. I just wish it wasn't off of usually senior citizens. This really does not want to go in place. Yeah, India is a very populated country. Okay. I am definitely having some issues with this. I haven't damaged wire any. Let's put you there so I can ensure you're as deep down in there as you'll go. So it's a nerve condition, affects the face. Trigeminal neuralgia. It's affects the facial nerve. Known as one of the most painful conditions in all of medicine. Not fun. I do have videos on it. But yeah, when it triggers, was kind of out of the ability to do anything. Thankfully, I've had a surgery recently, and that seems to have helped. Okay, I'm going to do something I'm going to regret. And I don't even think that's working. Finally that's in place. Okay, that wire did not want to go in place. So I know I'm going to have fun later on now too with those. Chemistry can be a fun challenge to do. So, bro, fun name to say. Really is. Do do you have any plans once you for what your future career might be? Nope. I can tell you that computer technologies such as computer security, great field to go into. It is highly understaffed. So that definitely has a lot of options. And yeah, there's a lot of different types of engineers. For example, my bachelor's is telecommunications engineering technology. Woo, I can do routers and all that, and my master's is information assurance, which is just a fancy way of saying, hey, I know computer security. This piece back. Goes a little nicer. Get you tucked a little better. There we go. Okay, now that these wires are in place, I now work on the rear of Ecto 1 by taking off this piece. Okay, that was easy. Okay, the directions here are just simple. Take off the yeah, that is true. But I just know that the tech field is usually the one that has some of the more openings, at least in the US. But yeah, I don't know India, how their job markets are. So I have actually seen all the Ghostbuster movies. I've even seen 2016, where I still say if they'd have named it anything other than Ghostbusters, it would have been a better movie. They were relying too heavily on a property, and yeah. So let's see. I need the A03, 1, 2. These are very long wires, so. Afterlife was quite good. But there's also a comic series to the Ghostbuster series. I think it was IDW that did it. Fantastic comic series, by the way. It essentially picks up from where the Ghostbusters video game that had all the original voice cast in it came out. Slowly. This one should be a little, quote-unquote, easier. Let's see, how do they want me to run the wires here to the side? There's a right way to do this, and a wrong way. Let us get this so it's a little more right way. If I have that in camera, huh? Okay. Okay, the next one. Come on. There we go. Push down. Yeah, those wires, nice. I'm not sure why this one wanted to argue. Okay. Oh, I missed a simple step. I was supposed to take that off. Oh well, that didn't affect anything badly. So let us see. But yeah, I can only really recommend Tech Fields because that's what I know though. Well, thank you for joining. Hope you have a good day / night as well. Yes, all the live streams go up under the live section of my channel as essentially full length as when I hit end. So this is a lot of wires right now. Let's see here, and then I need this, one of the actual connecting pieces. And I had the actual original build of this on that under the live section, so just set you there. And oh, I already hate this. Thank you. I appreciate you joining. Have a good day / night. Let's see. So I double check to see how they're doing some of this wiring. Okay. I'm going to go in a slightly different order. I want to make sure the window is down before I cut slack to the wires. It wants, where did I put the battery? It will want this to sit here. So yeah, the inside of the cab will definitely not be as nice looking once all is said and done. View for a minute. Like this corner, and I can't blame you. Yep, thought that was about to happen too. Fun of trying to sneak 3 wires in under this one piece / behind it. Well, it depends what you mean by can't pirate. Is technically pirating against the law? Yes. That is a crime. You should not be downloading things that you don't have permissions to, making copies of things that you're not supposed to. Does it still happen? Yes. There's a difference between can't and shouldn't. But yeah, you can... People definitely do pirate stuff all the time. That's not going to change anytime soon. And there's different forms of piracy in the US. Anywhere from going, hey, I'm not directly stealing anything, I'm just watching this stream off of someone's channel. That's that fun moral gray area of, no, you're not technically committing a crime. The person who uploaded it was. But yeah. It's still not recommended by any means. Well, you have to get caught. And it, again, depends how you're pirating. But yes, you can essentially get banned and sued. You have to get caught, though, which is most of the case. I'm going to do this a little different than the manual says. Get all these plugged in first. Am I putting that in backwards? Possibly. Oh yeah, it's the same as stealing. Now again, you have to realize, with most things, it's also how blatant you do something and to what amount you do something. So, in no way do I condone pirating or anything like that. However, most people who say pirating a show by watching it off of someone else's channel or something, they're never going to get in trouble. Oh, no. The cops aren't going to show up because I pirated a game, for example. Now, of course, when I'm doing my game giveaways, those are actually 100% legal copies. I'm free to give away. But say I pirate a game. Say I pirated one of the EA Sports games because EA is one of the bigger ones. They can essentially have it so I'd get sued for over one game. It's not worth it to them. I'm gonna be honest. If I was pirating and then sharing it on a website, that's where they could get me. Because then they can go, oh, each of these instances is damage to us, and it's a lawsuit. And just because you're sued doesn't mean you get arrested. But yeah, it's still technically stealing, and I definitely don't recommend it. But I know every place in the world is different, how they see it. Well, that's the thing. The game developer did spend a lot of time creating the games and all. they do deserve their compensation for creating the game. So in the end, they can create more. EA, as an example, is not a good company. But yeah, a lot of the independent companies, say the one that created Hollow Knight, I really doubt they'd be concerned about a few pirated copies. There is a game called Game Development Simulator, I believe it is. The people who made that actually made their own pirated copy that they distributed. And the joke with that is, at a certain point in the game, you can't really progress because sales of your game are not going anywhere because too many people are pirating it. They made their own inside joke to the game. Let's see. And they want me to just wrap all these wires around the board here. I'm not as fond of that idea. Still not as happy making other loops here, but phooey. Yeah, guess what? Son of a... I can say in my youth, I may have done some less than legal activities. Since then, I have personally corrected it now that I have the full means. But yeah, I grew up when I was still a kid when Napster was a thing, before the real legality around, hey, how does digital music work? So, I'm not one to judge. All I say is, in the future, if you have the means, just try to rectify sins of the past. Now, but yeah, I'm not one to say, oh no, how dare... There's other things where it's kind of like, no, there's far worse crimes to be concerned about than pirating a few games. Go. This is supposed to go under here. Worry about that looking nicer in a bit. Oh yeah, you show me someone who is truly free of sin, and I'll show you a liar. We're humans, we all do mistakes. In the end, as long as you're not directly hurting anyone is the main thing. And when it comes to, say, piracy of games or music or whatever, just try to rectify that in the future. That's my morality on that. I don't condone the action, but in the scheme of things, that is so low on the gray area. Now, say you rob someone or something. No, that's a much bigger crime. That's where the police definitely are right there. Let's see here. Okay, now I place the windshield back in place. a challenge in its own right. And I knock off all the pieces this time. Yay. And battery pack. Wow, these are really doesn't like the 3 wires. There we go. Stay. We'll see if it actually does. I'm not too hopeful. Place the antenna back on. Yeah, and I'll fully admit, a lot of the games that I do through the giveaways, using the Humble Bundle links, which I always mention in the videos, those I buy when they're bundled together. Part of proceeds go to charity, part of them go to the game developers, and the rest, a small portion goes to Humble Bundle themselves for doing the hosting and all. Pardon. And that is how I normally do the giveaways so far. So double check things here. Yeah, I do put that back on. But yeah, hey, growing up, I didn't have means to get some of the games. Of course, back growing up, downloading games wasn't really an option, so just did without. As personal thing where it's going, yeah, it sucks, but that is the better option technically. But again, not judging either way. That portion is wired up. Now the hard portion, which is the roof rack. And I forgot to put the back bumper on. How dare I? And the nice part is with the giveaway, win/if you win, then you have a fully legal copy. And start correcting sins of the past, quote unquote. Take these pieces off. Let's see, I will need 2 of the A15 strobing light. Now, this is the annoying part. Taking off all the small bricks. up a little better to the camera. As I'm working on the light rack now. Sorry about that. And I'm not trying to be religious when I say sins. It's just more, it's easier to say than say crimes or something. Because, again, different levels for different activities. And although technically it is a crime, it's not one where it's going, hey, the cops should be busting down your door either. That one actually goes on nicely. And then I drop a piece. There we go. That actually goes on fairly nice compared to some of the other wires. And then I put all the smaller pieces back on. Okay. I see how they do that instead. So I remove these two lights. And then try to get the... Yeah, downside. It is not easy to get the little studs off of these other. I may actually need to grab a pair of pliers to make life easier. So I step away momentarily while I walk around the table. Okay, there we are. There we go. And then it still doesn't want to come out. There we go. Hopefully. I'll probably need those one more time. So. Need two more of the A15s this time. Yeah, that went on much nicer. Yeah, as a kid, I would have killed to have been able to afford some of the Lego sets I can afford now. And I will fully admit, half of my success is just pure dumb luck, but that is the case with a lot of people. They just never want to admit that. And I will be 1 second as I turn off the phone so it doesn't say who's calling me. Okay. So this now goes back here. Yeah. Anyone who says that they didn't get ahead by dumb luck at some point is lying. Yes, there is a lot of hard work that goes into anyone who is successful in life. Unless you just inherited it all. But yeah. Rest of it is luck. Right place, right time sometimes is the thing. For example, in high school I went to do computer repair, and suddenly it became the Cisco Networking Academy. So I learned networking, and then from there found the college I wanted to go to, and so on. But again, that was just luck that it worked out. Yeah, thankfully, my school system saw that computer repair was a dying field. Oh, this is not going to be fun to try to reconnect with rerouting the wires. Okay. These to go essentially under here and then pinned. I'm going to do something a little different actually. Since this only connects at one point, can I essentially just right now I'm just trying to differ from the directions because I'm going, I want this to be a little more secure than it was showing, so it's just not going to be as easy to do in some regards. That's fine if they go over top for a min. Can rearrange wires on a min. I'm trying. Yep, I'm trying to pinch out air they. Oh, that would have made more sense, actually. No one like looking at something I did and go, wait, I did that wrong. We have two sides we can have the wires go down, not just one. So let us distribute the load. go. And those popped out. Phooey. And now we have me doing a clown show of trying to do stuff and get one side, mess up the other. I will break out the tape. Put some tension on, not a lot, just a little. Make sure that one's not pinching. There, now they're all captive. I carefully just move you down. Yeah, well. Let's see here. The dreams where you see the future of. I'm pretty sure everyone gets those to some degree at some point. Whether or not they come true, that's the real challenge. But yeah, the subconscious is good at trying to guide you at times. We have these, and I knock off other pieces. Don't do that. Carefully put that there. And this, hopefully I can. Okay, that is not going in, but it was never meant to go back. And as you can see with the wiring, it just doesn't line up nicely anymore. But even in the pictures they show, it doesn't line up nicely. Okay, now we work on the other side. Let's see, I need the A3. That one was easy. I'm sure that will get snaked down that way. No. Oh, didn't have an LED under it. That's easy to fix. Okay, so here is, and sadly my guidance is only slightly helpful for studying for something. It's try to do something you like. I actually really do like computer networking, and oh, this does not want to come out. Off screen for a second. There we go. So computer networking and computer security, I actually find that very fascinating. I geek out over it. So that made studying for that really simple, because I'm just literally being me when I'm doing it. I'm having fun. Yeah. The actual work, there's days where it's kind of like, this absolutely sucks. That happens. But for the most part, I do enjoy what I do for a living, and that's why I went into that for studying. It's because it was something I enjoyed. So it was never that hard to study for. doesn't get a light. This gets the last of the A3s. Yeah, I will admit, growing up, my parents always told me they didn't care what I did for a living. I could be a ditch digger as long as I was happy. That's what mattered. Thankfully, I didn't decide to be a ditch digger, although that does actually pay decently too, doing the heavy equipment. So okay, we put this piece back carefully. Oh, I see what I'm bumping into. Put that there. Okay, and I'll use you to help guide that wire. And yeah, this was supposed to be a gray piece instead of a clear piece. I just went, hey, I'd make it clear when building since I had to be extra piece. So that's why that one doesn't have a light. So pop that off. Well, that's the thing with peer pressure. Everyone falls to it sooner or later. You live, you learn, and you're still quite young. You have chances to live and learn. The harder things to do in life are usually the right things too. For example, you see something that is being done wrong, you can keep your mouth shut, not have anyone come at you. Or you can do the right thing, speak up, and then you might literally have a mob against you. It all depends on circumstance and personal morals. There we go. And I have one more light bar to do. Then I get to figure out how to actually plug this in to test it. That would be interesting. Well, that's the thing. That's one upside of the school system, is it at one point you can be doing really good, and then when you hit the next level, it doesn't click anymore. I mean, I'm fantastic with numbers, but the moment you start adding all the letters to math, then it gets problematic for me. I'm still not sure how I passed some of my classes in college when it came to ordinary differential equations. Ugh. It's English with extra steps. There we go. And we have one more. And as it is, as you go along, you may go, hey, I really like someone, and then later on you'll get into higher levels of stuff and go, yeah, this is just not for me. There we go. Light bar together, and then the challenge of putting everything together and figuring out how to do the USB cable as a very short USB. I'll be honest, English is the only language I know. I've tried learning others. English is hard enough for me. Mathematics, that clicks for me. But even then, it's like, yeah, I'm not even sure I'm that good at English. And I'm a quote-unquote native speaker. So, trust me, I have severe reverence for those who are able to speak multiple languages. I understand bits and pieces because, well, the other fun part of English, it is a hodgepodge of multiple languages at any given time. Really? Why would it be that difficult to me? How dare you, wire? Oh. There we go. And then I bump a piece off it. I bumped that one piece off several times. And then those came... Okay, those are loose on that side. I don't know. I really wanted to keep knocking off that green piece. Based on your typing, your English is very good, so... Okay, these don't want to play nice, so we'll route them how they were supposed to go originally, under this piece, which I don't like because I can't see. Move this aside ever so slightly. There we go. Now we have a nice tangle of wires, and you jumped out. How dare you? There we go. Now you're back in place. Okay, yep, that's a lot of wires. True, and for example, Canada, it's both English and French that people learn because it was colonized by both. And in particular, Quebec is more French speaking than English. I jumped ahead in my own manual. Yay. Okay, yeah, I'm doing everything right now. That's just plugging all the little cables in. And then trying to figure out wire management. Hi, Kami.
Hello.
So, my wife Kami stepped in right as I'm trying to figure out how to do little wires, plugging them in, and then I get to figure out my cable management.
Always fun to handle a bunch of those little wires.
Yeah. I know growing up, French was considered the universal language, but that has changed. It's now English is the language of money, and Chinese is considered the language of the future by some. And considering how much importing and all they've done in the past, I can see that. Although I know India is actually becoming a major manufacturing center nowadays. So
Things are always changing in this world of ours.
oh yeah.
Anyway, hello. Just so I'm not like some
Completely disembodied
disembodied
voice. No, this is a fun little rat's nest. They don't have any real guidance other than, hey, wrap all the wires together. This one I probably will be doing that. As you can see, it was done partially on that last one. I did it a little better than they wanted it just wrapped around the board. I wasn't as happy with that, so. Actually, in some ways, I'm surprised the U.S. didn't try to change its national language to French. Oh yeah, we're all stubborn here.
Stubborn to a fault.
Yep. French helped us gain independence. And yeah. Fun of knowing. I do know I do have French ancestry. And definitely English and Scottish, Irish.
Yeah, that was my understanding as well, that India and China have had issues.
Yeah, that's an understatement. Yes, all our founding fathers were essentially originally from or descendants of the British or the UK in general, Scotland, Ireland, or the English themselves. However, George Washington was born over here in the U.S. and grew up, which is probably one of the reasons he was able to see things more from the revolutionary side of going, hey, why are we being taxed by this faraway nation? And not seeing any real benefit. That's a fun thing. Cables. So carefully. I do say careful. Okay. This is why I have tape here. Thank you. That helped a lot. But yeah, one of the things I've been actually paying attention to is some of the conflicts with the waterways that come from China to India, and that is just messed up, to say nicely. Yeah, that is a fun rat's nest of wires. Let's see. Let us get some of these other pieces in place. So start to untangle the USB cable here. Yeah, that that's a history of China in general. Well, most of Asia has been border disputes for a long time.
Since before any of us were born,
Oh, yeah.
basically.
And we'll go on probably for millennia more, most likely. Nope, don't come off. Yeah, I know the stereotypical American doesn't know about global politics. A lot of us actually do know a lot more about what goes on in the world. It's just one of those, can't do much. Sit there for now. I have no idea if I'm getting... There we are. The windshield back in place, hopefully. There we go. As I'm getting towards the end, I'm getting a little more nervous doing this, and that's why the hands started shaking more. How dare they?
Yes, we do have TikTok in the US.
Yeah, if you ever hear about TikTok being banned, it's from federal devices. So in other words, people's work devices. It's not their own personal. So that's just a fun clarification going, yeah, it's not allowed on what's owned by the government itself. But most of us own our own devices. It's only those who work for the federal government may have. Okay. Battery pack, I'm just going to carefully sit there. This is where this whole kit kind of goes. In my opinion, it's the wires.
It's just pushing everything inside instead of... You've got a couple hanging out on this side.
Oh no. Oh no. I have this one, which needs to be. Are the other wires... Oh, I can look at my camera.
There are still wires hanging out this side.
Okay. Yeah. And then it falls apart. Oh, boy. Okay. We will go with trying this again here in a sec. I'll be honest, banning TikTok, in the US it's a little hard, the whole thing where we... And I have to mute a phone real quick. Yes, I know its name unavailable. How dare they call me?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that is just someone trying to sell something, and I don't want it. Okay.
I see just a little more poking this side, but it's not like super
Yeah,
noticeable.
Yeah, it's mostly hidden by the ladder.
Yeah.
Now the real challenge. Let's see here. I do not have a spare USB there. Okay, how am I going to test this? Oh, I know. I will be right back. Tommy will be right here though. As I hopefully find the one power bank I have. Hopefully. Or I can actually... just head this way and grab the radio.
Yeah. So, dude will be right back. He's trying to find the power to test and all that good stuff. Oh, he should be back. There
Hello.
we are.
as I go with the overkill method of, hey, why have a power bank when I can just grab a radio that has a USB on it? Ooh, Ryobi. Oh, there's a big ugly radio to have in the way.
Oh no, it's ugly. Does it do the job? Yes.
Oh, it actually works quite nicely. Okay. And I have... actually, I haven't... Well, I have to fix that too.
Oops.
Yep. So I quickly turn that on and mute this. Let's see if the lights even work.
They do.
Aha! I didn't have the power source on. So we have the front lights working nicely. Rear. Let's now just unplug that. Well, the good news is I'm now wrapping up anyway, so why don't you head on off, get some good sleep, and I hope you have a good day in the morning.
And thank you for watching.
Oh yes, thank you very much for watching. That is appreciated. There we go.
It was lovely to meet you.
Yes. Now I move Ecto 1 over. Now I can... could you turn off the lights real quick?
Yes, one moment.
So, yep. Have the front. Have a nice angle of those.
Can you turn the light of the car on once more?
Yep.
Yep.
So, all in all, the LEDs are very bright. They're very nice. The wiring, the wires are just too long, but that's a minor complaint in the scheme of things, so not bad all in all. So, anyway, I will be ending the stream here. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for everyone else who's watching this after the fact. Hope you all have a good day.